here we have 45 and 5 over 11%. Okay, so we've got 45 times 11, that would be 495 plus 5 would be 500 over 11, again, times what? 1 over 100, and so we know automatically the two zeros can cancel, because that would be like saying 100 over 100. Factors, that would be like saying 5 times 100, and so the hundreds can cancel out, and so what we end up with is the same thing as saying 5 over 11 times just 1 over 1, right, or just 1, and so we just get 5 over 11. Alright?
You do one that, instead of the hundreds, do it in the tens? Is it?
Well, see, here, that would be like something similar to what we did here. You mean like something like this, 60?
Yeah.
Sure, we could do another one like that. Like, for example, if we had 55%, okay?
You don't have a fraction that ends up as a tenth?
I'm not following
Well, if you
what
had,
you mean.
well, you know how you put 1 over 100 on
Yeah.
this one?
Uh-huh.
Is there ever anyone that will be 1 over 10?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's my
Okay.
I know the
Yeah,
other one.
because percent, this percent sign right here, when you convert that percent sign to a number, that's always going to be 1 over 100.
I didn't know.
Okay?
So you only
And that's-
understand this when you reduce it.
Yeah, well that's, if you had, for example, if you had 90%, okay, that would be like saying 90, if we did it like what we did here, 90 times 1 over 100, right? Okay, the way we did it before is we moved it over, we made it 0.90, right? And then that would make it, you could drop the 0 and say 9 over 10. But see here, you can, factors of 90 are 9 times 10 and 10 times 10, so the 10s can cancel out here, and so you end up with 9 over 10, right? Just like you did here. Okay? So,
Because if they're removing the decimal points and
yeah,
we're using them.
yeah. The result is the same, it's just the method is different. Alright? Okay. Now if we had one like 9.1%, and we're working with problems 27 through 38, where with these problems we want to write as a decimal. Okay. Alright, so basically to write as a decimal, all we're doing is we're going to move that decimal point
2 places.
right 2 places to the left. And so that becomes point what? 091. Okay, that's right. So here we're writing it as a decimal. The others, the difference was the others, we wanted to write them as fractions. Okay? From percent, this one's from percent to a decimal, the others were percent to a fraction. Alright? So, Just like, you remember when we had 0.2 squared, and I told you you had to be careful where you place the decimal point, because it looks like 0.4, but it really isn't. What is it? 0.04, right? Because it's 0.2 times 0.2, you gotta move that over 2 places, right? Well, this next one is similar, this next example is similar to that. This is 0.15%. So, we're still, when we change this from a percent to a decimal, we still have to move that decimal point 2 places, right? So in reality, this is actually going to be 0.0015. Okay? So no matter what the number is, if it's a percent and you're changing it to a decimal, you always have to move that 2 places to the left. Alright? Okay. Problems 40 through 51. Here, that's on the next page, write a fraction or a decimal as a percent. So now, we're starting off as a decimal. Now this is 0.15, and we're going from decimal to percent. And so, when we're going from decimal to percent, we're moving that decimal point 2 places to the right. So that becomes 15%. Okay? So if we had something like 0.175 as a percent, or as a percentage, we're moving that decimal point again 2 places and stopping. So as a percent, we have what now? 17.5. And you have to put the percent. If you just left it as 17.5, no good. It's different. There's a difference there. Okay? Because 17.5 is not equivalent to 0.175. You see why the percent sign is important to have that? Because without it, they're not the same thing. Okay? Any questions with that? Okay, problems 52 through 63. Write a percent. Write as a percent rounded to the nearest 10.